Okay, so let's take a look at how you can import Excel file into your SPSS data editor. So I assume that you have downloaded SPSS Statistics and you can download it. Make sure to log into your IBM ID and then you can simply go to your account, which looks something like this, right? And then download from there. You will also see the expiration date of your trial, right? Now once you do all of that, next thing you can do is open your application. Okay, right? I assume that you have added the right, and after you log in into your IBM SPSS Statistics, you will find you have this pop-up dialog box that shows your trial dates, sample files, recent files, restore points, right? You can even close this pop-up dialog, right? Now that you open your application and you see your data editor here, right? Now what we're going to do is we click on file, then go for open, then click data, right? Then go to that directory, let's see here, and here we'll select Excel, right? Choose from the Excel file that you want. Let's say I want to choose EPL season data. I'm going to click on open, right? This should start a visit, right? Now here you will find that the option that you see at first is worksheets, right? From which cell to which cell we are supposed to copy. Then we have option like read variable names from our first row of data, then percentage of values that determine data type. Finally, this one more option, project for you, ignore hidden rows and columns, right? Then you also have your column names, respective data under this, right? Okay, now we will go through these and remove leading space. We can uncheck this, remove trailing spaces. Considering this is already Excel file with properly formatted data, I'm going to keeping this unchecked. Click OK, right? Then it will reload with our editor and the data in it. You will notice that on the extreme left you have this column div, right? Basically it will have your dates, home team, away team, then respective match output, then referee and halftime and other data, right? So let's move to variable view. Now we have all these columns here available. We can choose to change their type. Here as you can see we have multiple dates, but they contain numeric value and those are specific numeric value for date, and instead of treating them as string we change to date. Then we choose date, month, year, right? Click OK. Now if we go to data view, and here you see our date, so the date which were not applicable will appear empty, right? So you will have plenty of empty date rows here. Then you have your days formatted like your day, month and year. Again edit again by going to your type, choose variable type, then its respective format, right? Similarly you can also check other numeric values. For that you will have to go through the data, filter if required before importing into SPSS editor. A lot of things you can filter through Excel and lot effectively than the SPSS data editor itself, right? So if we choose to go with these variable views, okay, as you can see, this is your data editor with one sheet being imported. We can't import multiple as of now because we have limitation of only importing one sheet at a time, right? So you get the idea how to import your Excel data into SPSS data editor. Okay, now that we have imported our Excel data into SPSS data editor, we'll also take a look at how we can export this, right? So we can go to file, then we can export this to, let's say, a database, then Excel, CSV data, DSV, fixed text, SAS, Stata, and Cognos, right? So currently I just want to save this as SAV file. So I will go to desktop as location, and then what I will do is I will simply type in Excel demo, right? And then click on save. This will save your data into SPSS stats save file, right? So next time if I choose to open this particular file, it will open in data editor like this. Now apart from that, you can also export to other formats, right? So let's take example of database. Here you see you can export this data into Excel, MS Access, Postgres, SQLite with UTF source, then SQLite 3 data source, and Visio. Just have to follow the wizard, right? So if I choose Excel, I can click next, right? Here I can see I need to point to driver to use any of these options, right? So say if I choose SQLite, then click next, I will have to use login ID password for this ODBC driver login. So that part we'll have to separately tackle, right? So let's see if there is any other option. So from here I can directly send to Excel. Yes. So instead of going through database, you can try this option, which will allow you to export to Excel, right? Now we can also take a look at a few other, right? Something like say CSV data. You can do that too. We have .csv option. You can choose the folder where we get to export this, right? So we see how to do it with database, then Excel, then CSV. Now there is one more thing that I want to cover actually, which is basically getting these type of files, right? So let's say if I want to get dataset, I can go to GitHub dataset or this data hub, where datahub.io is the URL. Clicking on collections will give you access to such type of data, right? So if I choose US education, it will show you something like this, right? So budget analysis data, you can scroll to find CSV file, right? And clicking on it should show you within browser, or you can save this. You can later convert this into Excel file or any other data file before importing to SPSS, right? So this is one of the ways you can use data from data hub, right? There is also JSON file, but you can stick with CSV if you are interested in converting into Excel. One more source of data, which is github.com. then slash datasets. Now this is one of the place where you have multiple repositories with data, something like COVID-19 data, then political geography, right? Then click on data, choose the CSV file. You can download the raw and then get it on your desktop. But considering some of the files don't have numeric data, you may want to check that, right? So COVID-19 seems to have a lot of numeric data. You can get that. You may also use tools like git down, etc. to download from these directories, right? So these are some of the sources from which you can take CSV or Excel files, then get to import within your SPSS data editor.